This valuation slide captures First Solar as a company the market keeps trying to simplify, but never really can. Historically, the big success was that First Solar proved it was not just another solar manufacturer. Its US-centered manufacturing footprint, differentiated thin-film technology, and large contracted backlog gave it a much stronger identity than the average panel maker. But the historical mistake was to price the stock like a clean, straight-line secular winner every time US solar enthusiasm surged. Solar still lives inside a messy mix of policy, permitting, tariffs, customer timing, and project execution, so even high-quality names like First Solar can see their multiples move violently when expectations get ahead of reality. That is exactly where the present story gets interesting. The stock was $203.47 on April 10, 2026, which means it is far above distressed territory, but still well below the kind of valuation investors were willing to pay during peak optimism. The market's caution makes sense. First Solar reported Q4 2025 net sales of $1.68 billion and full-year 2025 net sales of $5.2 billion, but the real shock came from the outlook. Management guided 2026 net sales to $4.9 billion to $5.2 billion, well below Wall Street expectations, while also warning of roughly $125 million to $135 million of tariff-related impact. Add in policy uncertainty, permitting delays, and underutilization pressure at international facilities, and you get the current setup. This is a strong company, but one the market is no longer willing to price on optimism alone. Looking forward, the estimates zone on your chart suggests a much higher earnings path, and there is a real case for it. First Solar ended 2025 with a contracted sales backlog of 53.7 gigawatts valued at $16.4 billion, expects roughly 25 gigawatts of global annual nameplate capacity in 2026, and plans to open a new U.S. finishing line in South Carolina by Q4 2026 to reduce tariff exposure and improve logistics. So the key question is no longer whether demand exists. The question is whether First Solar can convert that backlog into revenue and margin with fewer policy disruptions and cleaner execution than the market now fears. If it does, the stock can move back toward a higher valuation band because the domestic manufacturing mode is real. If not, First Solar stays what it has often been, a high-quality solar name that still trades with cyclical skepticism. Bottom line, today's price reflects belief in the long-term story, but real doubt about the near-term path, and that gap is exactly where the upside sits. Let's go straight into the risks, because with First Solar, the key question in 2026 is not whether long-term demand for solar exists. It clearly does. The real risk is whether that demand turns into timely revenue, stable margins, and dependable execution in a policy environment that has become much less predictable. The biggest risk is policy and permitting uncertainty in the U.S. First Solar's 2026 sales guidance came in at $4.9 billion to $5.2 billion, well below market expectations, and management directly pointed to customer-related challenges, including federal permitting approval delays. That matters because First Solar can have a strong backlog on paper, but if projects are delayed by regulation or interconnection bottlenecks, revenue recognition slips and investor confidence weakens. Closely connected is tariff exposure and the international manufacturing problem. Reuters reported the company expects a $125 million to $135 million tariff impact in 2026. The company also said gross margin has been hurt by tariff costs and by underutilization tied to curtailments at its Series 6 international facilities. In the annual report, First Solar explicitly said constrained demand for internationally produced Series 6 modules and tariffs on imports into the U.S. forced it to reduce production at those facilities. That is a major risk because underutilization does not just reduce volume, it can materially damage profitability. Another major risk is margin pressure from execution and mix. First Solar's Q4 2025 net sales rose to $1.68 billion, but the market focused much more on the weaker 2026 outlook and the risk that international disruption, tariffs, and lower utilization could keep margins below what investors had priced in. Even a high-quality manufacturer can disappoint if fixed costs are being spread over the wrong footprint. Then there is manufacturing execution risk. The South Carolina finishing line is supposed to start production in Q4 2026, and management views it as an important way to optimize freight, tariffs, and domestic content while using part of the front end of the Malaysia and Vietnam facilities. That creates opportunity but also execution risk. The company now needs that capacity transition to happen on time and cleanly. There is also warranty and legal risk. In the 2025 annual report, First Solar disclosed a $50 million specific warranty liability related to Series 7 manufacturing issues, with a broader range of reasonably possible future losses of $35 million to $75 million. The company is also pursuing trade and patent actions against competing Topcon products, which may help strategically, but they add complexity and uncertainty. First Solar's 2026 risks are not about a broken business model. They are about whether policy delays, tariffs, international underutilization, and execution issues keep getting in the way of what should otherwise be a very strong US-focused manufacturing story. Now the opportunity side, because with First Solar, the upside is not just about hoping solar sentiment improves. The company already has a large contracted backlog, explicit 2026 shipment guidance of 17.0 to 18.2 gigawatts, and a year-end net cash balance of $2.4 billion. That gives it something many solar names do not have: real visibility plus financial flexibility. In the short term, the biggest lever is backlog conversion. First Solar has been very clear that it wants to stay disciplined in contracting and protect pricing and delivery certainty. That matters because when execution improves, this is not a business that needs to chase low-quality volume. It can convert book demand into revenue while defending economics better than much of the industry. A second near-term opportunity is the South Carolina finishing line. The company's new 3.7 gigawatts facility is expected to begin commercial operations in the second half of 2026 and should lift U.S. nameplate capacity to 17.7 gigawatts in 2027. Strategically, that is important because it brings more final production into the U.S., improves domestic content positioning, and gives First Solar a cleaner way to serve customers that increasingly care about supply chain security and American manufacturing. Third, there is a real scale story here. First Solar expects roughly 25 gigawatts of global annual nameplate capacity in 2026. For a company with differentiated thin-film technology, that kind of scale matters a lot. It can improve manufacturing leverage, strengthen customer confidence, and widen the gap between First Solar and weaker competitors that do not have the same footprint or balance sheet. Longer term, the real bull case is that First Solar becomes less of a policy trade and more of a strategic domestic manufacturer. Its advanced thin-film platform, expanding U.S. footprint, and continued ability to monetize Section 45X credits give it a business model that is both industrial and policy supported. If management executes well and turns that book demand into higher quality earnings, the stock can be valued less like a volatile solar name and more like a scarce U.S. manufacturing winner in utility scale power. Now let's look at analyst sentiment on First Solar, and overall the picture is constructive but not one-sided. We have 9 strong buys and 12 buys, which shows a meaningful part of the street still sees strong upside in the company's long-term positioning. At the same time, the largest single group is actually hold, with 14 ratings. That matters because it tells you analysts like the company more than they trust the near-term setup. In other words, they see quality, but they also see enough uncertainty around execution, policy, and timing to stay cautious. There is only one sell and no strong sells, so outright bearishness is limited. That suggests most analysts do not see First Solar as a broken story. They see a company with real structural strengths, but one that still has to prove the path from backlog and capacity expansion to smoother earnings and stronger confidence. Sentiment on First Solar is positive, but not fully bullish. The street believes in the long-term story, it is just waiting for cleaner near-term execution before becoming more aggressive.